Kenosha County Sheriff David Beth addressed reporters in January 2018 following the arrests of 5 individuals for shoplifting at a Tommy Hilfiger outlet retailer in Pleasant Prairie, Wisconsin, and a high-speed chase that led to their arrests. At least 4 of the suspects have been black, in response to jail information. The 5th suspect was a minor, the sheriff's division mentioned in a press release. "I'm to the purpose that I believe society has to come back to a threshold the place there's some individuals that are not value-saving," Beth mentioned on the Information Convention a day after the incident, in response to CNN affiliate WTMJ. "We have to construct warehouses, to place these individuals into it and lock them away for the remainder of their lives. We put them away for the remainder of their lives in order that the remainder of us could be higher," Beth mentioned. He acknowledged a number of instances throughout the Information Convention that he was not being politically right. The suspects have been charged with retail theft and obstruction fees, the sheriff's division mentioned. CNN has reached out to the Kenosha County Sheriff's Department for remark. Days after he made the feedback, the sheriff issued an apology saying he ought to have saved his feedback, directed towards the incident, and haven't allowed my feelings to get the higher of me. Even although my feedback weren't meant to offend individuals, I can see how they could have, Beth wrote in a press release. Beth mentioned it bothered him that the excessive pace chase ended when the suspect's automobile crashed into one other automobile. A 16-year-old who had simply obtained his driver's license minutes earlier, and his mom have been within the different automobile, the sheriff mentioned. "This 16-12 months outdated jogged my memory of my very own daughter who simply acquired her driver's license lower than a month in the past," Beth wrote in his apology. At the time, the sheriff mentioned he met with 2 members of the Kenosha NAACP and that he deliberate to work with state lawmakers to strengthen penalties for those who break the legislation and place Kenosha's residents in Hertz methods sooner or later. The sheriff is amongst a gaggle of legislation enforcement officers main the police response to protests in Kenosha, Wisconsin, the place Blake was shot a number of instances by police earlier this week. The American Civil Liberties Union known as Thursday for the resignation of Beth and Kenosha Police Chief Daniel Miskinis, citing a failed response to Blake's taking pictures in the following protests. The protests have turned chaotic, with demonstrators, police and others clashing with one another and resulting in the deadly shootings on Tuesday by suspect 17-year-old Kyle Rittenhouse.